Good afternoon. I thought I might spend a couple of minutes to discuss a very important topic, and that is commuting in the Philippines. If you are taller than 5'10" or 178 centimetres. There's only one tip I can give you if you're very tall and you're going to commute. Don't buy yourself a vehicle. No, just kidding. I'll be serious now. Here's what I have discovered. Just to give you a bit of background, I'm 198 centimetres, or 6 foot 6.5 inches in old money. First came here in 2016 to live, went back to Australia in 2018 briefly, and have been back here since just before the March lockdown. We do not own a car, nor do I wish to own a car at the moment. Parking is a nightmare, and where to keep that car when we're at home is a problem. We would have to pay for a space. Having said that, there's no shortage of public transport options available throughout the Philippines. Trucks, buses, jeepneys, vans, taxis, and of course Grab, which is Uber in Australia. Some of these options can be quite expensive. I've been warned by locals that some taxi drivers see a white Western man as a good way to make a full day's takings in one trip. Anyway, that's not what I want to experience. I didn't want to be carted around in taxis all day. I could do that in Australia. It would save myself the airfare and the visa fees. So, okay, where do we start? Grab. We've used Grab on a few occasions. Most of the time they're good value. They'll take you to where you want to go. They do get a bit expensive at peak times. And they're comfortable because they're private vehicles. What about the vans then? I've ridden in these vans on a number of occasions. They are what we call in Australia tradesmen's vans. Well, that's what they look like anyway. With a few more windows and seats. They are licensed to seat 14 to 18 people, and legroom is not even factored into the seating arrangements. For short journeys of a few kilometres, they are fine, and my hips and knees and butt don't protest too much. Oh, I must clarify that in the Philippines, sometimes a short journey of a few kilometres can take up to an hour. Traffic jams are a way of life here. This brings me to the jeepneys. They're fun, they're noisy, they're dirty, they're smelly. Lots of diesel, black smoke. Legroom is not a problem because the benches run down each side of the vehicle. Where this form of transport is let down for tall people is headroom. There isn't any. A stiff neck and a bruised skull is the normal outcome after a jeepney ride. Sometimes you get a sore butt as well because on some of the older jeepneys the seat padding is either non-existent, worn out, or maybe it was an optional extra. But sore butts don't just affect tall people, so I'll stick to the point. Now you would think that buses would be okay, and for the most part they are. Headroom isn't an issue, nor is the comfort. Most are air conditioned and have comfy seats. Where they fall down for a tall person is good old legroom. I think back to my very first flight here on the Philippines National Airline and remember there was no legroom either. I've since found out this is the norm on just about any international flight. But I didn't pick up on that warning. Another problem with the buses is that most of the drivers seem to think they're competing in a Formula One race. I understand that they make their money from fares, not an hourly wage, so the quicker that they can offload and reload means more butt turnover on seats. Mercy and I have caught what is known as a baby bus on a few occasions. They operate in one certain part of the Cavite province. They're a bit like a minivan on steroids. There's no glass in the windows, or most of the windows that are open are invariably stuck open. We caught one particular baby bus one time, and Mercy jumped on first. She went about halfway down the bus to a vacant seat where we could both sit. She slid in okay, but when I went to slide in next to her, the back of the seat in front was mid-thigh. I had to sit sideways with my leg blocking the aisle, and even this was a squeeze because my knee was touching the seat across the aisle. For quick local commuting, you can't beat a truck. Motorcycle with a sidecar type arrangement. I love riding on these, and there are thousands of trikes everywhere. The first time I rode on one, I sat inside the sidecar. Mistake. Zero headroom, zero leg room, and I felt like I had to lie down on the road to get in. To give you some perspective, the roof of a sidecar is approximately about mid-chest height when I stand next to it, for me. I learned quickly that after that initial experience, to ride side saddle behind the driver as a pillion. It's much more comfortable. The trikes do have a roof over the motorcycle, so headroom can be a bit of an issue, but most trike roofs are made from canvas or tarpaulin. Those that have fiberglass or metal roofs are not difficult to cope with. I stick my head out the side from under the roof. I love commuting here. I would not travel any other way. I'm experiencing the real Philippines by doing what most Filipinos do. But it's one of the reasons I love being here, to experience things that I never could in Australia. If it is your desire to travel around the Philippines, or any Southeast Asian country for that matter, and you're taller than 160 centimetres, take note of this video. Alright, that's about all from me for now. I'll say uru. See you next time. Don't forget to like or comment on this video. And have a good day. Bye.